How you doing?
Morning, very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Football's a funny one, isn't it? 3 weeks ago, there's talk that MK Dons potentially could be, this wonderful football team, and then fast forward and it's no win in four. Is that just the way football works?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is what it is. It's you have little cycles during the season where we had a slow start and then really picked up and had a brilliant period, and then we're having a little bit of a tough period at the moment. I think the biggest thing that changes that is teams' approach to how they play against us, because they saw we were on the back of some really good performances, on the back of some really good results, and the approach from teams now has been very different to what we had during that period. And they've looked and obviously seen and done a lot of work on how we were playing and how we were hurting teams and scoring a lot of goals. And so a team's approach has changed, and we have to be able to live up to that. So now we have to find solutions to new problems. I don't think I was ever talking about what a wonderful football team we were, or playoffs and all that stuff. And that was me. I said that to Luke on numerous occasions. Me being honest with you, I know where we're at. I know how much work we have to get to. So here, it's never been like that. It's never been. We weren't getting excited and giddy when we were winning all those games. And now I'm not catastrophizing and scared or worried after having a little sticky period. It is what it is. We've got real consistency in our approach. We've got real clarity in what we are looking for and judging the players on, and we know now we're getting very close to knowing exactly where we need to go, what we need to do, and finding solutions to the problems that we faced in the last few weeks, because they've been very different to the problems we had before that.
We know you've got some really talented youngsters. Is there kind of a chance for them to show you, or is that for you as a coach, is it trying to get them to be more consistent for them? I mean, they're good players, they're talented, they've got potential, so then to make the next step, it's right, let's see some consistency and then you will become a really good player.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see how much the young guys have improved this season. It's what makes me so excited for the future, and for this team, for this group, for next season in particular. We knew this season was going to be a big learning curve for a lot of them. Harry Darling steps up a level. He's 21. Warren O'Hora's 21. Andrew Fisher's 21. Dave Kasuma, when he plays, is 21. All these guys have got a big future. Ethan Laird, Matt O'Reilly. We have a lot of young guys playing in the team. They have some experienced ones in there as well to help them, which is important. But ultimately, the only way they're going to learn is by making mistakes, by having these experiences, and that's why I love working with this group. I never come out and it was my fault on Saturday. I said that, and it is. And we have a lot of guys who are experiencing things for the first time. Definitely experiencing the way we are playing for the first time. Whether you're 36 or 21, this is very new to most players in the squad. So it takes time to adapt and get used to. And then, just as we think we are getting somewhere and really progressing, as I said, teams completely approach it in a completely different way, have a different mentality. So yeah, everyone's going to be better for this experience. There's no doubt about it, myself included. Myself, Luke, Dean, everyone, we're all going to be better for this season, for this experience. And last time we had a 4-game without a win, we was between Plymouth and Accrington, I think, and we started a brilliant run after that. So we're capable of doing that, and I'm sure we'll respond in the next few games, which are at home as well, which I'm looking forward to.
Scoring goals isn't the problem. I think it's only the top 6 who scored more goals than MK Dons this season. Defending, though, obviously is a bit of an issue. You spoke about defending your penalty box better, and I mean, obviously you work on that, and you said about that, doing that on the training ground. What do the players need to do, Russell? Is that a question of learning, of making sure they get back and help, or more heart? What is it? You're a former defender, you'll know what that kind of approach is.
Yeah, I think a really simplistic way is to look at it as all that stuff, but we need to help them more. We need to give them more ways to help solve the problems that we're facing now, because we've carried on in a way that where we got 8 wins out of 11, and as I said, teams have changed, and they've been a bit bolder, a bit braver, leaving more people at the top end of the pitch, and we haven't been quite able to cope with that. So it's really unfair to blame it on the defence. It's a team game, it's a team effort. We had 3 times, we got into their final third 3 times more than the opposition on Saturday, and didn't look dangerous enough, like scoring. And then when we do that and we give the ball away, that they can counter attack. So they've got a lot of bodies up at the pitch. So it's in the key moments. Yeah, of course, you have to put your body in a line. You have to see danger. You have to sense danger. You have to help each other out with communication. But as I said, we've got a lot of guys who are really early on their journey, and it's not quite. It doesn't quite come naturally to them yet, but it will do. It will do, and that's down to us. That's down to myself and Luke to make sure that becomes a natural habit. And let's get it right. Before the last 4 games, there wasn't a huge problem. We've conceded too many chances recently, but before that, I think we're still in the top 3 or 4 in the league for the amount of shots we've conceded. So yeah, we have to be able to deal. The few actions we do have to defend, we have to do better, because we have to defend a lot less than most teams we play against. That's the point, I think. And that's down to a combination of everything. That's mentality, that's detail, that's concentration, that's focus, and then a little bit of desire at the end as well. So we will get that right. And it's not fair just to throw that at the back 3 and the goalie. It's you have to put it into context.
Dean Lewington after the game said that the side maybe need to think about doing something different when teams approach games the way they are against MK Dons at the moment. Is there anything in that? There's always talk about, does a team have a plan B? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so let's contextualise Dino's comments. So I spoke to Dino for a long time on the coach on the way back. Dino's a massive supporter of what we're doing, how we play, enjoys it, has looked brilliant in the team. What he's talking about is finding different ways on the pitch of being able to, like I've just spoke to you about, adapting to the new problems we're facing, because we haven't faced them yet this season. So it's testament and credit to the boys that we are now facing different problems, because teams have realised actually if they come in a certain way, it's going to be a difficult afternoon. So that's throwing caution to the wind, really, and really testing how good we are at what we do. And at the minute, we haven't quite lived up to it. So what Dino says is, yeah, he's right. You can't get beat 3-0 at Wigan, who are, I would suggest, better than where they are in the league at the minute. But you can't do that and come out and say, no, it's working perfectly. Of course, we need to find solutions. But that's this talk of a plan B and stuff. I don't understand what people mean. What they mean is put a big guy up front and look. That's a typical Brit. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not the style of play that is. The style of play scores us a record goal and last Tuesday, and I feel strongly about this. I do, because it's a myth that's the problem. It's not. The style of play gets us to the box in 3 times more than the opposition, double the amount of touches in the opposition box. It is not the problem. I'm not getting angry with you, Jeff. I'm getting angry because it just gets thrown at us all the time, and it's ultimately, I believe fundamentally in how the game should be played. The guys are proving we won 8 and 11 playing the same way. And then no one throws anything at you about the style of play. And then all of a sudden it's like you need a plan B. No, we need to get better at what we do. We need to solve more problems, being us, with the identity we want to have as a football club. Otherwise, you're just completely outcome based. And every single result changes how you feel about the players, changes how you feel about the club, changes how you feel about the process. And I'm not going to do that, because my job is to be consistent with what we're doing, because fundamentally I believe in it and I believe in the players. And I have a real strong belief, and they've shown everyone on numerous occasions that they can be really brilliant, really top. But we have a young group. I've said all the way along this season, the expectation is to improve and progress, and we are doing that. And come the end of the season, that's when we'll be judged. And then after that, the expectation, I'm sure, will change again next year. But fundamentally, have we improved the players? Yes. Have we improved the style of play? Yes. Have we got an identity? Yes. Do we still need to find a lot of solutions to a lot of problems? Yeah, of course we do. We're a group that's been together. The team's changed since January. We haven't been together very long at all. I look at all the guys that have who get the time to implement something. I watched the best team in the country get beat yesterday, and they lost 1 game in 20. And people are like, the style of, it's not that. It's not that. Every team's capable of losing, but we have something that is clear, is consistent, that everyone buys into, and ultimately, I think will be successful. And given time, we've shown in a very short period of time how much the players can improve, how much they can buy into something. And 4 games ago, I had a lot of messages saying how much people are enjoying watching the team. We haven't got the results in the last 4 games, but we need to be consistent with everything, and I'm sure we will again.
Everyone has seen how good your side can be, and if they're that good, you haven't got the players to launch a ball forward, so that whole argument doesn't quite work, does it? You haven't got a big tall striker to do that, and why would you do it if you can play?
No, and there's if you do that, there's no problem with it. Everyone believes in different things. Everyone has a different opinion. I'm not saying this is, but it's our way, and it's it's the way that we see is the correct way of doing it with a group of players that we have. So it's not me coming out here and disrespecting any other way. I completely respect how other teams play, and there's very different styles throughout the leagues or whatever. But whatever it comes down to is you have to do something you believe in. You have to do something that is really clear for the players, that they can see the process and see it makes sense and why you're doing it. They have to understand the why, and they do. So this, if we get beat 3-0 at Wigan and play it a different way, I don't think people talk about it so much. It's just a fundamental belief that we're in League One and shouldn't play that way, really. That's what it is from other people.
What about Blackpool then? Because they're on a really good run of form, aren't they? They've picked up really well since the turn of the year.
Very athletic. A manager I really like. A guy who's obviously gone in and made a big difference in Colin Coldwood as well. A guy who's a good friend of mine and got a lot of respect for. Very athletic team. Very organised, very well drilled, very good at what they do, very, very good out of possession, and can counter-attack really quickly. So it's going to be a tough game for us, there's no doubt about it. They are in very good form, and they have some big threats that we have to try and negate. But we are back at home, which is good. We look forward to that, and we'll try and implement our game and get ourselves going again. And after working on a few different things, and Saturday again, in every game, we just learn more about what we need to do and what the players need, and that's the case again. So hopefully we'll put in a performance that responds well enough after Saturday.
And how's your squad looking? Is it going to be similar?
Yeah. There was no fresh injuries on Saturday to be worried about. So yeah, I think everyone who was available on Saturday will be fit and available. I think David obviously is still out, and Ben Gladwin took a knock, as I said on Friday, took a knock in training last week, which keeps him out. But apart from that, they're all in good shape.
And Houghton and Harvey, do they take it on the chin that perhaps it was the wrong call, so they've got to fight their way back into the team?
Yeah, it's my fault completely. It's not theirs. I asked them to play. They hadn't trained enough. I thought they'd be okay, but it was just a bit much the game, and because we weren't functioning as well as we should have, we made the changes. But they're two brilliant guys, brilliant characters, great pros, and they've been excellent players for us as well. So they'll be fine. I'll have a chat with them both today, but it's not a slight on them at all, and it's not them. It can't be taken for them being blamed for anything. It's my fault, and I had to change it so early. So it's nothing to do with them. They're two brilliant guys, and we'll have another chat again today. But they were great Saturday. Even on the bench, cheering on, supporting their teammates and giving information and stuff. So I wouldn't. I'm not worried about those two.
Cool. Okay. Thank you, Russell.
Cheers.
I suppose on the panic stations that some people like to hit at times like these. I mean, a win tomorrow night could potentially put you 12th. I mean, that's the extremes of League One at the moment, isn't it? That it can go from 16th to 12th in an afternoon. Yeah,
it's such a tight league. It's I think what player when we have a lot of young players, what they have to get better at is ignoring noise. And if you're going to play at the top level one day or at a higher level than we are now, you need to become really good at that with social media and the press, the tension, especially when you get into the Premier League. And I believe we'll have some players who will play in the Premier League, so they have to make sure they're focused on the task in hand and not on the noise around us. And it's, I'm getting a little bit agitated this morning, but not because of Jeff and but it's just because I get them questions from people around, the people I know very well, and it's like trying to explain to them all the time. But ultimately, you have to justify it with results. But I think you're right. It's that's why I sat here when we were winning 8-11 games, and I sit here now. It's the same thing applies for me. We have to get better at what we're doing, whether we're winning, losing, or drawing, and we'll continuously work extremely hard to do that. And a win will help us for sure. League position and making everyone feel a bit more relaxed. But at the same time, I want the performance. I thought at times on Saturday, I watched it back, some of the stuff was some of the build up, Harry, Warren, Sirs when he come on, the guys to get there, we just didn't do well enough in the final third. We didn't make them defend enough. We didn't cause enough chaos in their box. But some of the bits getting there, and we didn't defend the counter attack well enough. But some of the bits in getting there were top draw, really, really, really good, and a lot of the stuff we were asking them to do. So I feel better about Saturday after watching it back. Not about the result, but I feel better about the performance, and we have to drive it again and make sure we improve again, and also improve the stuff that's really hurting us.
What did you make of the game up at Bloomfield Road? I think probably the main takeaway was Andrew Fisher, I suppose, taking over as your number one. But other than that, not really an afternoon to remember. I think particularly poor game for both sides, I think. Yeah,
one of the rare games where for us anyway, that you'd probably say 0-0 would have been looked like the only result. And then we had, we conceded a really poor goal, and then we just didn't really create much on the day. They were very well organised, which you knew they would be, and they've continued to be. And they have a real threat out wide, which hurt us on that day. But that was a turning point for us in terms of what we needed to do, where we needed to go. That one day where I can accuse us of probably being a little bit predictable on the ball and a bit slower than we would have liked. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow. I think they all are, like you just said. The league's so tight, but the players back themselves with what we're doing. They have to, and they know what's hurting us at the moment, and hopefully we'll be able to solve that tomorrow. And we've definitely got the capability to cause them a lot of problems as well. So it will be a very interesting game. It's one I'm looking forward to, and I expect a much different performance to the one we gave up there.